I am attempting to go live with Stephen Downey. However, Stephen and I are request to be in your broadcast. Also, viewers consent request to join your broadcast. Okay. Add viewers to be in your broadcast. I sometimes struggle with getting people online with me through the business page. So I can see Antoinette Courtney is watching. I can see Micheline Clancy is watching. I can see Barry Murta is watching. I can't see that Stephen Downey is. So there's Stephen. Oh, okay, Stephen Downey. Add. Now we're going to do this horizontally, and we haven't been able to successfully do this before.
Hey, it works straight away. Can you hear me? Hang on, turn up my volume a bit so I can hear you.
Stephen, I
How are
can't
you?
believe you did it first time.
Well, that's what lots of failures do. They make you perfect at other times. But great
And
to see
look,
you.
and we did it like even Stevens on literally even Stevens on the page.
Yeah, right in the middle. So if I look at this way, I see you. It's
This is blowing my mind. I know I do live streams all the time, but when we get to do stuff like this correctly the first time, I'd be like, woohoo! I'm delighted to be
Yay!
live.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So listen, I know that the majority of followers of my page will be very, very familiar with the work that Stephen Downey does. And
Yeah.
Stephen and I have got to know each other very well over the last couple of years, and we spent a lot of time in similar circles. However, Stephen felt it was very, very important that he had a story that he wanted to share with you about his company called Our Mindful Moments. Stephen, knock yourself out.
Yeah. So I started our mindful moments that I'd say a few of the people on the page probably know already that unfortunately tragedy happened to my family a couple of years ago, and we lost my brother in a very serious car accident. And since then, I had been into mindfulness, but I just had such an appreciation of the little moments in life and little moments that are gone forever, and that's what brought about our mindful moments because
Yeah.
I just feel we should all be celebrating those lovely little moments in life. And so I've been kind of trucking along my Facebook page, and it's been going great for the last few years. And I think I always had this fear to bring it one step further. And last year I was at this great workshop. I don't know if you know her. You asked a question which was so important, Nicola. You got us all to stand up, and you'll know the person. I can't
Stephen, we
remember
just
the person.
lost you there for a second.
Oh, okay.
We lost you just
Um,
for a millisecond. You said I was at a workshop and then we didn't hear anything else.
Oh no, I wonder can I change Wi-Fi? But the sorry, I was saying I was at a workshop, and it was your workshop last year where you asked a question, and you might remember the person who I told the answer to. But basically, we had to hold each other's chest, and we put our hand in, and we asked the question, "What would I do if I wasn't afraid?" And at the time, it had been playing over my mind that I'd love to take my business one step further, and I'd love to become a meditation teacher, but I was
Mm.
afraid. I don't have a master's in mindfulness. I have an 8-week MBSR. I've been practicing for years. But what did I have that I could show and give to people? And when I actually answered the question and said it out loud, it just manifested something that has grown and grown and grown over the last few years. And
Yeah.
to the state where about 3 weeks ago, I was very, very, very proud to hand Nicola my little business card that I had created. I'm now, partly through my studies, to become a mindfulness teacher. I'm studying with a beautiful place in city centre called the Sanctuary. But are you saying that there's a lot of echo coming through at the moment? Can you hear me? Hang on, I'll see. Can I?
I can hear you more clearly now, Stephen. It was a bit echoey at the very beginning,
Yeah, give me
but
2 seconds. Sorry, going to
you seem to
speak.
be much clearer now. Let's see what's happening here. Are you gone completely, Stephen? He's gone. get back in line. And Antoinette Courtney, you that Stephen was at, and I asked you the same question, and look at where that led you. Um, I can't find Stephen now. Sorry about this, guys. Stephen Downey, add. Here we go. Add.
Are we back?
Back.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, hopefully it'll be better there. I'm not sure enough the Wi-Fi can be bad. I'm out in this beautiful wooden cabin at my back, but it's for some reason the Wi-Fi doesn't always travel out here. So hopefully you can hear me. I can hear a bit of an echo there again. But basically what I was saying is that I'm now on that path. Once I actually visualized and verbalized and actually said this is what I want to do, I took the steps, and now I'm enrolled in a course. It's that's actually the book of the course actually happening in front of me. It's
Brilliant.
mindfulness living course, and so I studied mindfulness about 6 years ago, and at a time in my life I was in a stressful type of job, and I always call it's reactionary meditation. And something was happening in my life. I thought I do meditate to fix this. But
Yeah.
as time goes on, I've realized that mindfulness is something that we all need to incorporate into our life, and it's not something that we should do as a result of something bad happening in our life. And so I
Yeah.
found the most perfect course for me, that it means that it's integrating it into my life, and it's like little things. It's simple things like, just if you're standing in a line in the bank, that you just stop there and you give yourself a second just to check in with yourself, find out
Yes.
how right now, because we're in autopilot so much. Like even this morning, I was bringing my kids to school, and literally it was bang, bang, bang. Get up, get the kids ready, get the breakfast ready, get the lunch ready, get out the door, and we never take time, and it can only take 30 seconds. Just stop,
Stop.
pause, and just listen to yourself.
Yeah.
So that's my mission now, is to kind of give people
Yeah.
permission to pause and just enjoy themselves.
So let's just go back to the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
In my workshops, I tend to ask very probing questions that generally people don't ask. And I create safe spaces where I give people an opportunity to fall in a safe space if they need to do that. However,
Yeah.
I also create safe spaces where people don't mind verbalizing things that generally they wouldn't verbalize.
Yeah.
So when I asked that question to everybody in the room, by the way, I asked that question on purpose. And it's amazing when you look and you observe from the position that I'm in. Some people are all in. Some people
Yeah.
are approaching it from a very cautious point of view. Some people don't want to do it, and that's absolutely fine. However, I always feel really sorry for them if they don't, because they're robbing themselves of an opportunity for learning. But to bring it down to brass tacks, Stephen, what happened for you in that day was that was a piece of information that you were mulling around in your mind for a long time. So when you have anticipation before you verbalize something, that creates anxiousness and worry. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So when I asked you the question, and thankfully we actually got a photograph of you saying it as you were saying it.
Yeah.
You know, that was a very precious moment for me with those. When I heard what it was that you said after the fact, and I knew the action that you took, and then when the photographer sent me the photographs, I was like, we were meant to have that photograph. If any photograph was supposed to be taken at that particular time, it was that photo. And I know the girl well, actually, who you were doing the exercise with. She's a local girl here in Drogheda. And you couldn't have picked a better person to share that information with. But what happens is when we take the fear from inside our heads and we take the fear away by verbalizing it, when you verbalize it, it becomes real and it gains energy and it becomes tangible and a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the difference between you and the majority of, say, other people who might not take it to the next step is the action. There's no point in saying it if you're not
Yes.
willing to back it up and take the
Yeah.
action needed in order for you to be able to get where it is that you want to go.
Absolutely. And I have to say on that though, that the action doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be the step to get from here to here. It can only be the step to get a little bit here, and then build on that, build on it until you get there. Because so I think what happens with a lot of people is that they're so afraid to take that action step because they think they need to take the big action step, where it could literally be just making a phone call. It could be just go, like, for in my
Gather
case,
the
for look,
information.
yeah, just get the information. And from that information, you can take another action step. But ask
Yeah.
yourself, what is that one little step? It doesn't matter how big it is or how small it is, but what is that one little step that I can take to manifest this even further? And actually,
Yeah.
on the subject of manifesting, I have to tell you, as you know, I was at a great event on Saturday, and you were so good for helping me out with a ticket. But
You're
myself
welcome.
and Gabrielle and another Nicola were, I have to say, we were at the break. We were in the big auditorium. There's about 500 seats there, and I love public speaking, and I want public speaking to be part of my life. And
Yes.
I saw an opportunity to stand on a stage in front of 500 seats and to consciously think that those 500 people were listening to me. And if anyone doubts how the law of attraction works, listen to this. I sat back in my seat. I got the most amazing photo, and we sat down. And actually, the next thing to listen to was beautiful mindfulness meditation, and really anchored people, grounded people. But the following speaker was, oh my God, what's wrong with my head? I'm not going blank. What was the name of the
Nora.
speaker? Laura
Nora
Casey.
Casey. Yeah.
Sorry. So Laura Casey was coming on next. And she had a really passionate speech. But near the start of it, she said to herself, "I'd like to bring," because it was a massive conference for startup companies and people at an early stage, and to try and give them confidence, she wanted to bring them on stage and just say a
Yeah.
few words about their business. And my heart stopped pounding and pounding, and I knew this is it. This is going to happen. So
Yeah.
she went through the whole talk, and at the very end of it, she invited, at first she said 5 people. When I stood up, there was about 6 or 7, and then there's a massive queue of people that wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
But an hour of me saying that I'd love to speak to that many people, I was up on stage speaking for, it must have been 30 seconds to a minute, about my journey, about my company, to those 500 seats, which weren't empty anymore. They were full of all the right. But it was purely, like you said, taking an action. But I visualized it. I actually knew what I wanted to achieve and what I wanted to get there.
So
So
on the break,
yeah,
you stood on the stage when there was nobody in the room and you visualized this and manifesting it into your life. Yeah.
yes,
And
and
within an hour or two, you were actually on the stage speaking to those 500 people.
I was.
Well,
It's amazing.
congratulations, Mr. Downey.
But it's like, well, like you said though, is the essence of it. You have to take that action. Like I could have sat in my seat when Nora invited people up, but I said no. I'd like to take that action. And I remember actually even because Gabrielle Collins Lawler was actually, she was in a seat 2 seats down from me, and she looked at me, and I think I didn't actually say anything to her. She looked at me and goes, "Go." She could see that this was something that I wanted. So yeah. So it all goes back to just taking that little bit of action. That's it.
Absolutely. And you discussed change there a moment ago in action. And I delivered a workshop yesterday to Dublin City Council. And
Yeah.
one of the sections was when we're making changes. I don't know if you remember from the workshop that you were at, Stephen. I put up a slide that had the word change in really big writing at the top. And then there was
Okay.
lots of the word change, 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 change. So change is not one big change. Change is a million little changes, which adds up to one big change.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And as well as that, you use the 5-second rule to your advantage at the Start Summit last Saturday. You know, you had 5 seconds whether you were going to make the decision of taking the action or not taking the action. If you wait more than 5 seconds, yeah, I can. If you wait more than 5 seconds about whether you're going to do it or whether you're not going to do it, your ego will kick in and say, oh no, don't get on the stage. I'll make an idiot out of myself.
Yeah.
People will judge me. Nora won't want to listen to what I have to say. And you'll start trying to convince yourself otherwise. But now, look, it's just fantastic. I'm so happy for you. And I'm raging I wasn't there.
Yeah, no, it was a good day. It really was. And actually, even like there's little simple things. Like originally I was not able to go to that event until about 8 o'clock that morning. I discussed it with my wife, who you know well, and we said, oh, actually, no, she'd be able to what she was going to, and listen, just go for it and go to it. And I've been talking to a business mentor that I've been just chatting with online, and I've meant to start with him actually today. And I hadn't actually met him yet, but I don't think I told you this, but at lunchtime, who walks past me who's literally only in the building for 30 minutes, but that actual mentor. So we got to have a great chat, conversation, all about this. So it's like things really do happen for a reason.
That is so funny.
So I was meant to be there.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Do you know something very interesting happened to me a couple of years ago, very similar to that? Do you know Derek O'Boyle?
I don't know.
Okay, Derek O'Boyle is a hypnotherapist. He's not a hypnotist, he's
Right.
a hypnotherapist, and he's fantastic at his job, right? So I got a message from Derek O'Boyle a couple of years ago, and we were chit-chatting and we were making arrangements to, see each other in the future. And the chit-chatting was going on for a couple of weeks. So I went to an event in Dublin. And who sits beside me?
Yep.
Derek O'Boyle.
Oh, wow.
He said, hiya, Nicola.
Fantastic.
And I went, hiya. I wasn't wearing a name tag, so I was confused as to how he knew my name. I was like, how's this dude know my name? And he goes, I'm going to be meeting you next week. And I was like, what? What do you mean you're going to be meeting me next week? I had no rashes who this guy was. And he was like, I'm Derek O'Boyle. I'm the guy who's actually been emailing you. I was like, oh my God. There was about 400 or 500 people in the room, Stephen. And out of all of those people, he sat beside me. That's just synchronicity at its highest order. But I know that Antoinette Courtney is watching as well. And Antoinette Courtney said, that's my question too, Stephen. Changed my life too. Now, let me tell you about Antoinette Courtney. Antoinette Courtney was at, and I really want you to meet her, Stephen. Antoinette Courtney was at my event in the Gibson, I think 2 years ago, and I'm actually presenting in the Gibson again this September. But I asked that same crowd the same question, and she said, and we also got a photograph of her, Stephen, believe it or not. There must be something in when my photographer gets the photographs of these people that it manifests for them and it comes through more quick. But her answer to the question was that she would start her own face painting company and be extraordinarily successful.
I knew the name. I knew the name. I am following her actually. You recommended her page one time, and oh my God, like did she do face painting for one of Westlife or something as well? Like she was just it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
how it's all
within a couple of weeks of her launching her company, she was painting Nicky Bourne's daughter's face.
That was it,
as a professional,
Yeah.
So, like,
fantastic.
I've been in touch with Antoinette over the last little while, inviting her to events. I invited her to the Start Summit on Saturday. Antoinette couldn't come. Antoinette is booked out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
So just going to there's Catherine Moran. Hi, Catherine. Antoinette Courtney says, I bawled crying the time I had my hand on the other person's chest. She did. She sobbed, and we got photographs of it.
I'm not seeing all these. Wow.
Nige McMorrow, success is a load of little things done really well consistently. I agree with you there. Nige, I can't call you Nige, I have to call you Nigel. So listen, that's the story, Stephen. Is there anything else? Do you want to tell a story about your niece?
Oh God, yeah, wow. Actually, yeah. So my
Can
niece,
I ask you, before we move on, can I ask you what time it is? Because I don't know what time it is and I need to be mindful of my next appointment.
It's just coming up to 11:25.
Yeah, we're good. We're good for 5 more minutes.
Perfect. So my niece is an unbelievably amazing person. So I'll start off telling you about, unfortunately, my brother dying a few.
Oh, Steve, we've lost you now. there's Selena Gorman. Haven't seen you for ages. Selena, how are you keeping? Let's in his garden. Let's see. Just trying to add him back in. Give us a sec, guys. This story is really interesting. About his niece. And it's the brother who passed. It is his daughter that this story is about.
I have no idea what happened there.
You're okay. You're okay. I filled them in. I told everybody that the niece that you were speaking about is the daughter of your brother who passed.
So she's the eldest granddaughter in the family actually, and she's Mark's eldest daughter. And she contacted me. She's been working. She is the most amazing person, and she works at the moment. She's training to be a nurse, and as part of her placement, she's working in Temple Street at the moment, working with sick children. And but as part of that, she's noticed within the nursing profession that they are so busy at the moment, all these nurses, that they're not concentrating on their own mental health. And she's always said to me that she's getting lots of inspiration from my page and what I do. And Nicole contacted me about a week or two ago, and she decided she's going to go for the Rosa Tralee. And she has asked me to sponsor her so that she could represent our Mindful Moments in the Dublin competition of the Rosa Tralee. So I am unbelievable. She was so nervous. I remember the message she sent was, I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. This is what I want. And I didn't even think. I just replied. 5-second rule. I just replied and said, Nicole, I would be honoured. Tell me what you want. And so now she's going on to the Dublin competition, and it's on the end of this month, about the 20th or so. And fingers crossed she could be representing Dublin in the Rosa Tralee this year. But she's just a beautiful, beautiful, amazing person, and I can't believe that when I met up with her, actually, they were doing a tour in Dublin, and I got to see she had the sash with our Mindful Moments across, and it was just amazing to see. It's like another manifestation.
It's unbelievable, Stephen. I'm really glad that you told that story, and I'll tell you why. As you're telling it, like I already know the story, but as you're telling it, I'm getting emotional. Like I'm getting a lump in my throat. The hairs on my head are standing up. The hairs on my legs that shouldn't be there are standing up. But like this is a really dark cloud over your family with regard to the situation with your brother. And I always strive, no matter what the situation, to always try and find the silver lining. And it might take a couple of years to try and find the silver lining. And it has taken a couple of years. However, this is your silver lining in this situation. And I could feel the power and the meaning and the layers behind what our Mindful Moments means when I saw your niece, whose father has passed, with that sash around her chest. I was just like, this is full circle, mind blown, unbelievable, beautiful, beautiful moment in your family. So what I'm going to ask you to do, Stephen, is I want you to share on my business page your niece's journey. I'd like to keep an eye on that. I would like to be able to support her, and I know that the people who support my page would like to support it as well. I'd like to keep an eye on that. I also want everybody who's watching this video who's not familiar with Stephen's work to go to Our Mindful Moments and support his page as well and join the group.
Yeah, actually, I was going to mention the group and I'm setting up. It's called the. If you look for a Mindful Living Guide in groups, you'll find it straight away. Or if you go to my page, go to community, and the page is Our Mindful Moments. And actually, just so you see the name, that's it behind me there. So the page is called Our Mindful Moments, and if you look up the page, it's the group is called Mindful Living Guide, and what we're hoping to do is actually to have a weekly meditation there. I'm still kind of putting things together and crossing T's and dotting the I's, but a free kind of time, because I found like I've gone to a lot of meditation groups over the years, and it can be hard to get out, especially if you've got children, and just getting out of the house to so. What I'm hoping to do is create a community where you can go online and you can get that 20 minutes in just a mindful practice with other people and in the comfort of your own home. So that's where the journey is going. That's the thing way down here. Right now, I'm still here, so we're going to go over there and work on it. But that's it. So Our Mindful Moments. I also do a lot of public speaking, and if you have a company that have a wellness week coming up and you're looking for a speaker, give me a shout. All my contact
Yeah,
details are on. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. Sue Masterson is online there and she said, "Morning, guys. Uh, what a lovely story, Stephen," Sue says.
uh,
Antoinette Courtney also says, "Full support here too." Antoinette is a wonderful cheerleader. If you ever want a cheerleader, it's Antoinette Courtney.
yeah,
Sue Masterson says, "Yeah, I'll support too." Again, they'll be fighting each other for the pom-poms, Sue and Antoinette. They are
yeah,
absolutely unbelievable at support and are just, I can feel the two of them standing behind me the whole time. Beside me, not behind me, beside me.
yeah,
So listen, I'm working really, really hard on my timekeeping at the moment, Stephen, because
yeah, yes,
when I'm not good at my timekeeping, that causes me anxiousness. So I'm trying to
yes.
eradicate everything out of my life, even the little itsy bitsy things that cause me anxiousness. So 11:30 is or 12:30 is no, what time are we?
We are 11:29.
Yeah, that is my
So,
cut-off point.
yeah. Listen, thank you so much for the chat. I really, really enjoyed it. Apologies about the connection, and hopefully everyone got to hear there. But see you soon, Nicola, and thank you so
Yeah,
much for all the
great to
support.
see you,
You
Stephen.
honestly, you have been sitting on my shoulder supporting me since the first day I ever met you, and I really
Yes, I
appreciate it.
am.
And okay, take care.
Namaste.
Bye, everyone.
Toga boogie.